Hello everyone, it's Eleanor here once again. Happy New Month, guys, and it's another wonderful, exciting episode. I'm grateful for how far God has brought us on this channel. We are almost 2 years old. That every single one of you have grown in one way or the other in your life. Connect with Eleanor has been a blessing to you. So I would like you to subscribe, comment, share, like, send it to your loved ones, people that you know that Connect with Eleanor can really help them build their foundation, can really help them with healing and other aspects of their lives. So on today's episode, we're talking about smallness. I was seeking God's face concerning what He would have me say in this November season, and I heard that word smallness. Many of us, we are been operating under the spirit of smallness, whether in our relationship, our finances, and other aspects of our lives. But this week, we're going to be talking about smallness in relationship. Humans, we are wired for connection. Sometimes we settle for less than God's best, tolerate toxic behavior, we fear confrontation, and we prioritize people pleasing our own self-worth. I know many of you might be wondering this statement that settling for less. A lot of people feel like it's you setting unrealistic standards about your partner, or you saying that you're looking for a perfect person. No, the truth is nobody is asking you to leave that person if there is still a chance that this person has a growth mentality. Now, before we digress into the depth of smallness in relationship, let's get right into exactly what smallness in relationship means. It means settling for connections that drain us, settling for connections that disrespect us, settling for connections that hold us back, tolerating toxic behavior. You don't want to confront that person. You don't want to let this person know that the way you're treating me is not right. The way this friendship is going is getting more toxic. It is when you are more focused on avoiding conflict. So many of us feel like you trying to avoid conflict is you trying to save the relationship. But the truth is, you are operating under the spirit of smallness. That's why you feel like your opinion doesn't matter. That's why you feel like I don't want to have issues with this person. I don't want to have confrontation with this person. The truth is you can effectively communicate what exactly you feel like this person is doing wrong, destroying the relationship. Another thing that smallness is characterized by is trying to maintain a relationship at all cost. At the cost of your mental health, at the cost of your physical health, at the cost of everything around you. You telling yourself that I need to maintain this relationship at all cost. Prioritizing this person over your own emotional need, over your own mental state. You telling yourself that I need to make things work, despite the fact that this person doesn't have a growth mindset, despite the fact that you keep telling this person that this is what you are not adjusting in your character, and this person has refused to move on, this person has refused to work on themselves, and you're telling yourself that I'm going to keep staying in this relationship because I can't afford to lose this person. We've come too far. Smallness in relationship occurs when you are living small rather than accepting God's love and acceptance. Smallness in relationship can show up in different ways. I'm going to be listing some of the ways that smallness can show in relationship so that you can know exactly when you are operating under the spirit of smallness. The first thing is staying in friendships that are toxic and draining. When you are insisting that because this person has been your friend for a very long time and you realize that this person is draining you mentally, this friendship is not a healthy one, but yet despite the fact that you are feeling all these kind of emotions, you still hold on to that friendship. You've not even made an effort to communicate to this person that, okay, you as my friend, these are the things that you're doing that I don't like, these are the things that you're doing that is affecting me. You tell yourself that you don't want to lose this person, so you keep maintaining that current friendship just because of probably you guys have known each other for years and you don't want to offend this person, you love this person so much. But the truth is, true love starts from yourself. If you don't love yourself enough, how will you be able to love others? How will you be able to communicate that this is how I want to be loved, this is how I want to be treated? So another thing is that tolerating abusive behavior or disrespectful behavior from your partner, from your family, from the people around you. Some of them will be like, I don't want to lose this person, I can't afford to lose this person. But the truth is, if you keep condoning this abuse, it will get to a point that you will not be able to take it any longer, and by that time it will not be good. For people that are married already, For singles, it's so easy for you to cut someone off. Even if you guys have been in a relationship for a long time, it's so easy for you to move on. But people that are married, you'll be telling yourself that I want to build a life with this person. I promise to build a life with this person. What you can do is that try and communicate to this. Let them know what they are doing. Try and communicate assertively to this person. Let them know that this is what they are doing that is affecting you. But if you decide to keep it to yourself, if you decide to shoulder all the abuse, all the insult, all the disrespect, it shows that you're operating under the spirit of smallness. Now, when you are operating under the spirit of smallness in relationship, it will drain you mentally, it will drain you emotionally. You'll be anxious, you'll be under stress, because you're busy trying to manage another person's emotions while neglecting your own. It can also lead to low self-esteem. You will feel less of yourself. You will feel like you're not worthy of love, you're not worthy of attention. But the truth is, every single one of us is worthy of love and attention. Because so many people feel like they do not measure up to their partner, maybe in terms of status, in terms of educational background. The truth is, if you know that this person is not up to your standard, or this person is not somebody you can do, like, why did you approach the person in the first place? So, as much as I understand the fact that you have to look after your partner as well, and their needs and their feelings, you have to be able to prioritize yourself as well. This is what you're doing that is wrong. How can we solve it as a couple? How can we solve it as a married couple? It's obvious that this person is not willing to change, and it keeps affecting you. Then you will find solution. Probably you guys will go for couples therapy, counseling, something to just work it out. But if you are still single, it's very easy for you to some extent to cut off such connections before it leads to crisis management in marriage, where you guys have to be going to a counselor or a therapist to help you solve your marital problems. Really avoid the red flags before it gets to the marriage stage. To anxiety, depression, mental health problems. So many mental health problems that we see out there is because of toxic relationship. People keep stepping all over you, and then you keep quiet. It also affects your spiritual growth. You're somebody that you have your values, you have your standards, you have the things that mean more to you. But because you don't want to offend this person, you don't want to lose this relationship, you prioritize that person over God, over your belief, over your faith. Let me talk to the single sisters and the single guys out there that are Christians, and even if you're not a Christian, this will benefit you. The truth is there in their mind when it comes to relationship, their values, their do's and don'ts. Okay, as a Christian, I don't want to engage in premarital sex. I don't want to engage in so many things. You understand? You have your own values, and then this person that you're meeting also has their own values. You should be able to talk it out. Okay, these are my values. These are the things that I can accept. The truth is, once you start compromising on these little things in your life, things that have been a source of foundation to you from the once you start compromising, choosing that person over your belief, over your faith, then obviously in the long run, that relationship will not last. That's the truth. Eventually, you regret it, and you'll be telling yourself that why did I even compromise in the first place? So it all depends on the kind of idea that we have in our mind about relationship. Some people don't have any issues with marital sex. Some people don't have any issues with having verbal abuse, talking to your partner anyhow. So many people have their own perspective when it comes to relationship. So it is important as a single guy, as a single lady, to find out what this person's perspective is. And when you see that it's like we are not on the same direction, our lane is not aligning, you move on before it gets to the stage of you getting married, and then you guys have to be doing pash, and then trying to go to pastors and counselors just to make things work. So another thing is that when we are operating under the spirit of smallness, we'll be attracting people that will take advantage of us. It is obvious that this smallness is an atmosphere. People can sense it. People can sense it when you don't carry yourself with confidence, when you don't carry yourself with grace, when you don't carry yourself like the child of God that you are. People can sense it, and they will take advantage of it. So another thing that I would say is that if you work on this spirit of smallness, it will really help you. It will help you have healthy relationship. You meet people that are uplifting. Many of us, we decide to stay in that toxic relationship, that toxic friendship, that friendship dynamic that is so draining to our mental health, because we are afraid to take risk. We have this fear of being alone. But it doesn't have to be that way. Someone out there, as you're watching me, we've been operating under the spirit of smallness for a very long time. Break free from this spirit of smallness that is operating in our relationship life. One thing I would say is that it starts from you recognizing that you are worthy of love, you're worthy of respect, you deserve a healthy relationship. Even if you have to work together with your partner, you deserve it. You guys working together as a team matters a lot. So recognize that regardless of your past, regardless of what you have been through, you deserve all the love, all the care in the world. And another thing is that breaking free from this spirit requires you setting a lot of boundaries, making sure that you are clear about your goals, what you can accept, what you cannot accept. It means learning to say no without feeling guilty. You obviously know that this thing is against your conscience, this thing is against what you stand for as a person. You don't have to compromise. There is always a way to communicate your needs without getting as aggressive, without getting into fight or being nasty to someone. Let this person know that my no is no and this is my reason, and my yes is yes, this is my reason. Identify the relationship that have been draining you. Write their names down. People that you know that these people are draining me, write it down. And then try and think, okay, with the kind of relationship dynamic, with the kind of friendship dynamic I have with this person, how can I set boundaries without hurting this person, but at the same time protecting myself? Prioritize yourself. So many people out there, when I say prioritize yourself, they make it seem as if, okay, it's a self. No. You taking care of yourself is not a selfish action. Deciding to choose yourself is not selfish. The truth is, it is when you are okay, it is when you are mentally okay, that is when you can give love to others. I would say is that seek healthy relationships that align with your values. Believe me, this alignment of values is very important. If you and somebody are not thinking alike, you are not going, then it's obvious that you guys are not moving in the same direction. So why are you even working together as friends or even as a partner in the first place? It's in the Bible that said iron sharpens iron. The truth is, the people around you, they determine how far you go. They determine the kind of atmosphere you carry. If the people around you are carrying a negative atmosphere, believe me, it will rub off on you. So you have to be intentional. Have healthy relationship. Now, healthy relationship doesn't mean that, okay, you guys are not going to have conflict, you're not going to have issues, you're not going to have days that you don't want to talk to your partner. But it means that you guys have a growth mindset, that we are working together as a team to make this thing work. We are working on our weakness. We are trying to accommodate each other, be empathic towards each other, listen to each other's perspective to make things work. So another thing that I would say is that practice assertive communication and let them know your expectation from this relationship. Okay, as my partner, this is what I expect you to do. This is what, don't expect this person to read your mind, especially ladies. And guys, don't be too objective to the point that you're not sensitive when your partner is trying to tell you that this is what I want from you. You understand? It's very important. What I would say is that trust God's timing. You understand? Remember that breaking free from smallness is a journey. It's a step-by-step process. The last segment of today's episode, I want to give you the practical steps that you can use to upgrade your relationship. Whether at the end of this episode you realize that you need to let go of that person, or you realize that you guys need to work together as a team and sit down, or you realize that I've been acting under the spirit of smallness and I need to step up, I need to improve myself, I need to work on myself. It is how I see myself, how I carry myself. That is what will radiate to others and say, okay, this girl is a queen. I can't just treat her anyhow. So the first thing that I would say is that identify your non-negotiables. What are your deal breakers in relationship? What is that thing that you know that if this person should do it, it is over? Let this person know. Communicate it. Another thing is that what are your values and boundaries? Knowing what you stand for as a person will actually help you. For someone like Eleanor, I prioritize, someone that has a growth mindset, because I believe that regardless of whatever weakness this person has, whatever weakness this person has as a person, as long as they have a growth mindset, as long as this person is teachable, this person is willing to learn, I believe regardless of whatever weaknesses they have, you can actually move past it as a couple. That is my belief. So many of us have our own values and our boundaries. We have things that we know that no, if this person is not this, then it cannot work out. So many of us that are Christians, we have this belief that Anybody that is not a believer is not someone that is even an option in the first place. You understand? And so many people that are Muslims will tell themselves that, okay, if you are not a Muslim like me, then I can't be in a relationship with you. I can't even get married to you. Everybody has their own idea. Everybody has their own values when it comes to relationship. So make sure that you identify them. Write them down. Don't just think them in your mind. Write them down. Your non-negotiables. Things that you know that you cannot compromise for anybody, and communicate it to your partner. Now, the second aspect, which leads me back to the second point, communicate assertively. Speak up for yourself, express your needs, set boundaries. Let this person know that these are my values, this is what I believe in. If you know that, okay, you cannot be flexible enough to actually accommodate these values and these boundaries that I have, then it's obvious that we are not moving together. The Bible says that, can two work together except they agree? Agreement is very important. Are we going in the same direction? Our values aligning, even as friends. That I've had in the past, that what really made us separate, so to say, is not even because they are not Christians, or probably no. It was because we were not working in the same direction. It's obvious that we were speaking different language. It's just like I was speaking English, they were speaking German, and we did not understand each other. So it's obvious that we were not moving in the same direction. Not only romantic relationships, that we need to make sure that our values align, even friendship as well. There was a particular friend of mine that I had, she had this idea about life, that you just have to be free, enjoy yourself, flex, blah blah blah. And I took life seriously. So it was obvious that we were not aligning. One person was carelessly making decisions, and another person was so intentional when it comes to making decisions. So I had to just ease out of that friendship, even without conflict. I just eased out. You're not calling, I'm sorry, I'm busy, blah blah blah. I just gave a lot of excuses without hurting her. Self-care, like I said the other time. Take care of yourself, be good to yourself, be kind to yourself, see yourself as a wonderful person. You can just take this month of November to just bask into the aura and the fullness of who you are. Write the things you love about yourself. See the good things in your life, the good things that makes up your personality, that makes you unique, and just appreciate yourself. That I would say is that practice forgiveness and let go. Okay, if probably you've had some issues with your relationship, and it's obvious that you can't move past this weakness, this person is not willing to learn, they're just repeating their mistakes over and over again. When it's time to let go, but forgive this person. We are human. Someone out there has also forgiven you. Someone out there is giving you grace every day, despite all the things you're doing. So give this person grace and just let go. It is when you let go of that unforgiveness, that is when you can heal, and then attract healthy relationship, attract people that are willing to learn, attract people that are willing to grow past their weaknesses and treat you right. All the boundaries, like I always say, boundaries is not bad. You having boundaries with someone is not bad. It's just you letting this person know that this is how I want to be treated, this is how I want to be loved, this is what I do not condone, this is what I condone. Seek God's guidance. You see, when it comes to this spirit of smallness, many of us don't know that we are operating on that. Even despite the fact that Eleanor is listing all these things for you, and you're seeing signs of people pleasing, you're seeing signs of always prioritizing others over yourself. Yes, God has called us to be light in the world, in every area of our lives, in our giftings, in the way we speak, in the way we interact with others. But at the same time, you are a very important masterpiece in this journey of life. If a lot of people have already wrecked you, you don't have boundaries, it's to get to a point that you turn to a bitter plant, and you'll be telling yourself why. So boundaries are there to protect you. And the spirit aspect of relationship is you praying to God for guidance, that okay, is this person someone that you actually know this person's heart? God knows this person's heart. So can this person be someone that can walk this journey with me? Is this person capable of being my friend? All these prayers, just trusting God for your relationship life, for your friendships, really helps a lot. God gives you strength, because everybody on this planet has a way that you can deal with them, has a way that you can speak to them that will get through to them. It takes love, it takes discernment, it takes wisdom, it takes knowledge for you to be able to navigate every relationship in your life. So try as much as possible to work on these things, and believe in me sincerely, before you start living the way God wants you to live, and not living in a small way. Of you, it has become an habit. You're used to it. This person is used to it. And when you start implementing all these things, this person will probably feel like you've changed. What's going on? Why are you doing like this? Let this person know that I can always start over. I can't continue like this. We need to work things out. So it's not too late for you to stop operating under the spirit of smallness. It's a step by step. Nobody's asking you to rush, but we are just asking you to give yourself a chance to be loved. Give yourself a chance to be loved the right way. Give yourself a chance to have healthy relationship. Believe in me sincerely, regardless of whatever plan you have in your life, regardless of all the goals and what God has called you to be, if you're not mentally stable, if you're not physically okay, if your relationships are constantly draining you, you cannot get the best of what God has for you. So I hope you take this point and use it in your life. Apply it in your life. That is why Enilon is here, to help you, to guide you on this journey. You understand? So thank you so much for watching today's episode of Connect with Enilon. Kindly like, share, subscribe. Tell your loved ones about Connect with Enilon. Let them know if you sense that there's somebody operating under the spirit of smallness. Let them know, and then share this broadcast with them to help them and guide them. So I love you guys so much. I celebrate you. I will see you next week, working on this journey, realizing that these steps are actually helping. I'm making a lot of progress by having a growth mindset. I love you guys so much. I celebrate you. Bye.